You are a strong supporter of the United States continuing to fund and support Ukraine in its fight against the Russian invasion. Yet many members of your own party, including some running for the nomination against you, are not. Why are they wrong?
Well, first, I'm a strong supporter of the notion that America is the leader of the free world, and we're the arsenal of democracy. I mean, ever since the days of Ronald Reagan, we've had the view that if you're willing to fight our enemies on your soil with your soldiers, we'll give you what you need to fight them there so we don't have to fight them. And I think it is in the interest of the United States for us to continue to provide the Ukrainian military with the support they need to repel the Russian invasion. Because, Elizabeth, I've met Vladimir Putin. I have no doubt if that Russian army was able to overrun Ukraine, it would not be long before they crossed the border of a NATO country that would require our men and women in uniform to go and fight and defend our allies in Europe. We don't want to see that day happen. I never want to see American forces in Ukraine and would never support that. But I'm going to continue to be a voice for America being the leader of the free world, to supporting the Ukrainians as they're making the fight. And frankly, I was grateful that my former running mate, President Trump, this weekend at least came halfway there with me. He actually said that part of his strategy for ending the war in Ukraine would be to offer to arm Ukraine more than Joe Biden had ever done. And that resonates with me. I think peace comes through strength. We continue to give the Ukrainians the resources they need to fight and repel that Russian invasion, and we'll achieve peace.
At the NATO summit last week, President Biden said NATO is more unified than ever. Would a President Pence continue that effort? And would a President Pence push for a firm date for Ukraine to join NATO?
Well, I wouldn't push for a firm date. We wouldn't want Ukraine to be admitted to NATO until the war is over. I actually traveled to Ukraine just a few weeks back. I met with President Zelensky, and I think he understands that.
He was frustrated, though,
this
that
war
he
would
didn't
have
get a
to be
date.
finished. No, he didn't get a date. Look, there should be no arbitrary date. President Biden, candidly, has been slow in providing munitions. You know, he cut off the military aid that we were providing during our administration to Ukraine when he came into office. And while he's given a lot of vocal support and resources to the Ukrainian military, it's been slow, unquestionably. That's why I welcomed what the former president said over the weekend of doing better at providing Ukraine with the military support that they need to repel the Russian invasion. We need to do better. Joe Biden said that we're there as long as it takes. Well, my view is it shouldn't take that long. We're the most powerful nation on earth.
So a President Pence would send more aid more quickly?
Well, I would give the Ukrainians what they need to fight and win this war. I mean, Vladimir Putin is not going to stop unless he's defeated. And I truly do believe they're in the process of defeating him. And, you know, the truth is we've only sent them about 3% of our defense spending in this country. They've held on to 85% of Ukrainian soil for a year and a half. And in 18 months, Russia's gone from the second most powerful military in the world to the second most powerful military in Ukraine. You know, back in the day, we'd think that was a good thing, as a weakened Russian military. But I'm going to continue to stand by that. But it's a bigger picture for me, Elizabeth. It's the Biden administration has been trying to cut defense spending since they came into office. The recent debt ceiling deal sets the stage for budget cuts in 2025. I promise you, if I'm president of the United States, we're going to make sure that we have a military that is built to meet the challenges to defend our nation and our interests across the wider world in the 21st century.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.